The reported attack on the convoy of Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke, coming just days after the conclusion of the state's governorship election, should not be treated as an ordinary security incident. Beyond the exchange of gunfire, it raises serious questions about the security architecture surrounding political leaders and, more importantly, the wider security situation in Osun State. The most troubling aspect is that this was the convoy of a sitting state governor. A governor in Nigeria is not an ordinary citizen moving around with personal security. By virtue of his office, he is protected by multiple layers of security personnel, including police officers and other security agencies. A governor's movement is normally planned, monitored, and secured. For armed individuals to allegedly approach the governor's convoy and engage his security personnel in a gun battle suggests either a serious intelligence failure, a breakdown in coordination, or a boldness among the attackers that deserves urgent intervention. The timing is equally significant. The incident happened shortly after Adeleke received his certificate of return following his re-election. The election itself was heavily contested with political tensions, allegations of intimidation, and a recurring debate over the influence of federal power in state elections dominating public discourse. However, it is important not to immediately conclude that the attack was politically motivated. That connection must be established by investigation, not assumption. The fact that it occurred immediately after the election makes it politically sensitive, but the identity, motive, and objectives of the attackers still need to be established by security agencies. What the incident does demonstrate, however, is that political tensions does not necessarily end when election results are announced. Elections can leave behind grievances, rivalries, and heightened emotions. If those tensions are allowed to develop into armed confrontation, the consequences can extend beyond politicians to ordinary citizens. There is also a bigger question about the meaning of security in Nigeria. If armed men can allegedly attack the convoy of a governor shortly after he leaves the place of a traditional ruler, what happens to the ordinary citizen traveling through the same streets without a convoy, armed escort, or intelligence support? This is perhaps the most important question arising from the incident. The governor moves with security details. His route is generally known in advance to his security team. His convoy has armed personnel, communication systems, and vehicles capable of responding to threats. Yet, according to the accounts provided, attackers were still able to confront the convoy and sustain an exchange of gunfire lasting several minutes. That should concern every resident in Osun State. It raises questions about whether security agencies had adequate intelligence about potential threats around the governor's movement, whether the routes had been sufficiently secured, and whether there was effective coordination between the various security agencies involved in protecting the governor. It also raises a broader question about the capacity of the state to guarantee security after an election. An election is supposed to be a democratic context, not the beginning of a period of political retaliation or armed confrontation. At the same time, authorities must resist the temptation to politicize the incident before the facts are established. The responsible response is a transparent investigation capable of answering basic questions. Who planned the attack? Who were the attackers? How did they gain access to the governor's routes? Were there prior intelligence warning? Were security protocols followed? And was the incident connected to the recently concluded election? The answer matters because the issue is bigger than Governor Adeleke. If a sitting governor can come under armed attack despite the extensive security resources attached to his office, then Osun State has a security challenge that requires immediate attention. And if the incident is ultimately found to have political connections, it would represent an even more disturbing development: the transformation of political disagreement into a threat to democratic governance. The recently concluded Osun election should therefore not only be judged by who won or lost, it should also be an opportunity to examine whether the state can move beyond electoral rivalry and build an environment where political competition does not threaten lives. Democracy cannot thrive where political disagreements are settled with guns, and security cannot be considered effective if those entrusted with protecting the state's number one political office cannot prevent armed men from reaching the governor's convoy. The authorities owe the people of Osun answers, not speculation, not political accusation, but a credible investigation that establishes exactly what happened and ensure that such an incident does not happen again. What's your take? Drop them on the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to get our videos as they drop. Till next time, stay informed and stay connected.